Alright guys, we just hit 10 miles in the Skyward X here. I cleared it off my watch so you can't see it, but man, I love these things. This is basically like everything I enjoyed about the Hoka Mach 5, but amped up a little bit. You get the soft layer on top, the firmer layer on bottom, but they added a plate, gave us more cushion, more stack, and we are just ripping pace out of these things. Some people say they're an ugly brick, but you know what? Those people haven't run in them because they're not even released yet at the time of this video, so they're missing out. One of the best marathon training shoes on the market right now, Hoka Skyward X, 100-mile review. Let's get into it, baby. Good morning, guys. It is 8:11, and that was me yesterday getting hyped about the Skyward X here. And this is not the 100-mile review, but I like this shoe so much that I wanted to do another day of running in it before we get to the 100-mile review. And we have a double run day on the schedule today. And this is the perfect type of shoe for high mileage and double runs, similar to something like the Nova Blast here, or your favorite shoe, the Super Blast, or even the Nike Invincible over there, which I did a double run day last Monday. And it has a ton of stack here, ton of cushion and protection. And these are the type of shoes, if you've been watching the channel, you know I've been gravitating more towards these over the past few months. Last year was a little bit more about lower stack shoes, less protection, more ground feel. But now it's all about high mileage and being comfortable and cushioned out there. And so my highest mileage shoe out of everything I think that we have out here on the showroom floor is New Balance 1080 V13. This is, I think, one of my favorites, if not my favorite, soft cushion daily trainer. Really comfortable to run in, but it does not have that pep when you pick up the pace. That's really the only downside of it. And I didn't mind that for last year and earlier this year when I was just purely building mileage without any focus on speed whatsoever or pace. Now I'm in a little bit of a different cycle coming off my last marathon a few weeks ago. I am focused more on pace and wanting to maintain a little bit faster of a daily average pace for most of my runs. And the Hoka Skyward X here has the perfect amount of pop and pep while still being stable out in the back and supportive. So today we're going to put 20 more miles of running on this guy, get a nice, I don't want to say recovery run because again, we're trying to run our runs a little bit faster this cycle, but a nice aerobic run, probably right in the middle, hopefully around 7:30 pace. And then this afternoon, double back for probably a stroller run in it. So I'm excited to strap this up, man. It's an expensive shoe, but so far it has been hitting for every single run. I have not had a bad run in it yet, but man, these double days, they typically expose whatever the weakness of a shoe is. It's like running for the marathon or training for the marathon or running a marathon. The race will expose your weakness. The double run day test is the gauntlet that exposes the weakness of a shoe. So I got to get my running clothes on and then we'll strap this thing up and take it for a run. Let's go. Oh, by the way, guys, so before I go, the two last shoes I did these tests with, Nike Invincible 3, just to let you know what the weaknesses were. Very comfortable cushion, bouncy shoe, but towards the end of the second run I did in it, I was completely beat, and it just felt like it was forcing me to go a little bit faster than I wanted, and the foam was a little bit uncontrolled. And so I didn't have any issues actually with stability or the heel in here, but it was more so the shoe was a little bit hard for me to run in by the end of the day, especially for more recovery miles. It felt a little bit one note. And then Hoka Mach 6 here. This guy I just had a sizing issue with, but what I discovered on the double run day test is that the cushion in the forefoot felt a little bit flat by the end of that second run, so I'm not sure this is going to be the most durable shoe. And this actually has the same foam as the Skyward X. So Skyward X here has two different types of foams. You get a PIBA on the top layer, so more of a racing foam, nice and bouncy, still soft. And then this outside foam here, which is the most foam. I actually saw a picture of this shoe exploded, or the full side view, so let's see if I can fire that up. But the bottom is the supercritical EVA, same foam that's in the Mach 6 here. Maybe we'll have to do a little durometer test to see if the softness is the same, but same foam here. In the Mach 6, you don't have the plate, so it was going a little bit flat for me at the end of that second run. So we'll see if we get that same issue in the Skyward X here. And just because you have a plate, that does not prevent bottoming out and feeling the forefoot cushion go flat. Doesn't matter how tall the stack is, that can happen to any shoe. So we will see today if that happens on the second run. I did take this for a 16-mile long run, and I didn't feel that issue, but a 20-mile double with a stroller run He's a little bit of a different beast. So, all right, let's do it. Bada bing. So it is actually really cold out today. Check this out. It is 46, and it's gonna warm up to be 70, but it's usually about 70 to 80. So a little bit cold. I think we're still gonna go shorts. We'll just rock with it. A little bit cold can't stop us. Yeah, I already pulled out the shorts. Boom. We got the New Balance running shorts today. Drip. Bang. Then of course we got to go with the Features padded socks. Bang. Thing is, it's a little bit weird. You got the green and the red, but it's all good. We'll rock with it. Then I'm gonna go with the clean black long sleeve. What is this? The DSG. Yeah, look at this. DSG, the Dick's Sporting Goods brand. You don't always need to do the name brands. You know, and look at that. Oh, DSG. The same thing if you go upside down or front side up. That's cool. I don't know if there's a word for that. It's like a, what is it called if a word is the same palindrome, forwards or backwards? A race car. Race car. Race car. Race car. Race car. That's cool. All right, let's put these things on. Boom! I'm just kidding. I don't do that. And of course, you guys already know we got the Suburban Symphony going. It's Tuesday. Longevity out here putting in work. That fescue grass is about to be nicely manicured. And then, of course, we got the garbage guys coming through putting in work. That means we can't do the breakdown outside today because it's going to be loud. I can already hear the little drone of the lawnmowers just going. Man, I love living in the burbs. Look at this. Look at this. I love living in the burbs. So take a look at this, by the way, guys. I know people keep asking about the Audi Zero SL. Adidas has given me no information about it. However, they featured it in an email recently. This is the Audi Zero SL2, and it's in a marketing email, and there are some more pictures of it starting to trickle out, but they still have not said when it's releasing. And they also bungled the release of the Takumi Sen 10. So something weird is going on with Adidas. I also think they just don't care about the US market, and they only care about Europe. I'm convinced, so they don't tell us anything, don't give us any information. Anyway, let's see. The real thing I wanted to do is I took a picture of the Skyward X. Yeah, here we go. So this was on Road Trail Run's Instagram account. I don't own this picture. Shout out to them. But can you see this? It's a little bit weird lighting. But yeah, you can see top layer of the Skyward X here. That is the PIBA. And then you get this plate in the middle. And then bottom layer is supercritical EVA. So you can see from this picture from Road Trail Run, you're not getting a ton of PIBA up at the top, but you do get a little nice bit of it right under the forefoot here, and then that bottom layer of supercritical EVA, which, dude, supercritical EVA is an awesome training foam. I loved it in the Mach 5. I love it in the Mach 6. I love it in, I'm trying to think of another shoe I love it in. I think there's another shoe I love it. Oh, Brooks Ghost 16. I love it in, and I love it in this shoe. So this is the midsole setup, 2 types of foam, and the plate, and just a ton of stack. I mean, look at that. Look at that stack. Even if it were just this stack of supercritical EVA on the bottom, it would still be one of the tallest max cushion shoes on the market. But we got the 2 layers. That puts it up near 50 millimeters. In my US men's 10.5, I think it might be 50 millimeter stack in the back here. So tall shoe, very supportive. We just got to see if the supercritical EVA holds up today. It's 20 miles of running. All right, last piece of kit. We got to get the hat. I think I'm gonna pull up with the REI hat today. Bang. I got to get some hobby jogger running hats because this thing is fire, but brighten it up for you there. It is not a running hat. And look at that patina it's getting. It is a trucker. And so I wear this thing every day. I actually was wearing this, or I wasn't wearing this yesterday morning because I went straight out of bed to get Reevesy up, and he said, "Hat. Daddy hat," because he only sees me with this thing on. It's part of my head at this point. But yeah, we got to get some running versions of this going, and I think I might drop the pre-order link soon, or maybe I'll just order them and let you guys know when I order them. But let me know if you want a running hat version of this, and we'll get that cooking. Spring 2024 hobby jogger hats, fire. Got to get the drops going. All right, run time, baby. Let's do it. chilly. I think I might have forgot one piece of kit. The gloves. Alright, I had to grab the gloves and the quarter zip because it is cold. But plan for the run this morning, 12 miles, aerobic pace. So when I say aerobic pace, that is the everyday running pace that I'm hitting that's going to build fitness. That's where you get enough adaptations to become a better runner. So you get blood pumping through the heart. You're building some stronger muscle fibers in the legs. You got those blood cells moving and grooving, but you're not running so fast as to put unnecessary injury risk and stress on the body. And so my system of training with high mileage, and there's that southern accent coming out again. I don't know when it started, but my system of training, to speak like a northerner, a Yankee, is high mileage done at a slower pace than you can sustain. So think about it this way. If you're training for a 3-hour marathon, you could likely do all of your everyday runs at a 7:30 to 7:15 pace and run 30 to 40 miles a week that way and be completely fine, injury-free. However, what I've found is that at this stage of my running career, or running journey, I don't know if I can call it a career, I'm not a professional, but at my running journey, I get more benefit from running, say I'm training for a 3-hour marathon, 80 miles a week at an 8 to 8:30 pace, so a lot slower than that 7:15 to 7:30, but I'm getting a more aerobic stimulus with less wear and tear on the muscles. I'm recovering quicker because I'm running more. This is my experience again. And so this system is not what I would advise for everybody. When I did that sub 3 marathon video, 3 things I did, there were some people who say that's a lot of mileage. It is a lot of mileage, and it's not the only way to train. But with the level of commitment that I am able to put into this and my general enjoyment from running, I like running a lot and I like running more. This is what's worked for me. And so this cycle, we're increasing the speed a little bit, but still a lot slower than I could sustain for every day. I could probably run 30 to 40 miles a week or 50 miles a week at a 6:40 pace every day if I wanted to, or a 6:50 pace, but that's not what we're going to do. We're going to run between 7 and 7:30. Today, goal pace is 7:30s, and in the Skyward X here, it is a little bit of a heavier shoe, but I've had no problem sustaining a slightly faster everyday pace in the shoe, and it reminds me of one of my favorite shoes from last year. I think my second highest mileage shoe from 2022 and 2023. I'll bring that out sometime today, and we can do a little bit of a comparison. But now, it is time for the run. Let's get it. Whew. Dang, man, it feels good to just run. 12 miles, average 6:40 pace, hour 20. And we were just running, not worried about pace, not worried about heart rate. Am I too high? Am I out of the aerobic zone? Not worried about am I heel striking or forefoot striking or how's my form. I was just running. And I think since I started structured training in the summer 2022, since I got that coach, since I started focusing more on hitting certain pace ranges on certain days of the week, man, running has been a lot less fun. And you guys know I love running, but the reason I like it is because we can get out here and just enjoy the sun, enjoy the sky, enjoy the birds, and all these different structures, frameworks, the amount of rigid externalities that a lot of us put on ourselves from running with the tech, with wearing certain shoes for certain days of the week, that can remove some of the purity, some of the simplicity, some of the joy that I felt back in 2020, 2021, early 2022, before I got too deep into the structured running game. So, man, ever since this Coast Guard Marathon, ever since I put to rest trying to get vengeance on Charlotte 2022, running has been a lot more enjoyable, and I'm back to just letting it fly. 640 for 12 miles, and that felt smooth. That did not feel like I was pressing. It didn't feel like I was holding back. It just felt like it should feel to run every day. So, man, running without restraints. That's the spirit I'm in right now. But before we get into the full breakdown on the shoes, I have a take that I want to workshop. This is something I've been thinking about there on the run, and I put that video up a few days ago. 3 things I did to run a sub-3 marathon, and man, there's a lot of feedback that I've gotten about it, about the mileage level, the number of miles that I run, and then just my approach to running versus S&C is what one guy said. Man, acronyms drive me up the wall, but strength and conditioning. So I got to take, this is what Bill Simmons does sometimes. He'll workshop a take. Hold on, I got to get my water. But I got this, shout out to my man Bill Simmons. He'll workshop a take. So before it's ready for prime time, he'll put it in, just bury it somewhere in the podcast. That's what I'm going to do today. This take is not ready for prime time. It's not ready for the full weekend video treatment, but I'm going to let you guys in a little bit on my thought process right now. And then you can let me know whether it's hitting and how I can refine and sharpen, because that's what we're all about, man. We got to sharpen the craft every day. Shout out to longevity, though. Got the grass looking like Fenway. All right, guys, so as I mentioned, I want to let you in on my thought process right now and how I'm trying to frame my thinking around strength training, the place of lifting in the gym, in particularly my schedule right now. And everything that I talk about on this channel, let's see, the truck's going the other way, but everything I talk about this channel is from my point of view. I am not a running coach yet, and I try not to give prescriptive advice, but what I do want to do is share with you what's worked for me in my experience, and then hopefully you guys can apply that to your own training. Now, with that being said, I am part of the probably 1% in terms of peak fitness, not because of anything that's special for me, but I'm a young male in my physical prime. So between the ages of 20 and 40 is when most of us males will be in our physical prime. I don't drink alcohol. I actually have been averaging between 7 and 8 hours of sleep the past few weeks, which is amazing. And I eat pretty well and take good care of my body. So I am decently injury resistant. I've also never had an injury history. And just because of my demographics, being a young, healthy male, I can tolerate a bit of a higher workload and maybe a little bit less of a conservative approach than some other people out there. So that is my perspective. Those are my biases. Those are my experiences. Those are my privileges due to my demographics. Now, that being said, what's worked for me in terms of the gym and strength training in my running is when I am trying to achieve peak running fitness. And this is something that I want to dial in on. Running fitness and high performance for running versus general health and wellness are 2 separate things. I could be an extremely healthy, same thing, 20 to 40-year-old male and not run 1 mile for the entire week. You can also I could be probably 25 pounds heavier than I am right now and still be decently healthy and live to 105 years old. But when it comes to peak running fitness for me, what I've found works is dropping the gym altogether. And that's because of my demographics. Again, another thing that's important to mention, and we got the trash truck coming through, so maybe I'll do a quick take workshop. Another thing that's important to mention is I have a full-time job, I have 3 kids, and I don't have all the time in the world. So it's an opportunity cost equation. There are trade-offs, and I have to decide between just going to the gym, driving, showering, the other hour it's gonna take. Am I gonna get more benefit from that and doing a heavy set of squats or doing some pull-ups, or will I get more benefit from doing another hour of running, building my aerobic base, strengthening my legs? And what I found is that last year, for me, it seemed like I was getting more benefit from more running. And so during the summer, I actually did a split approach where I would go to the YMCA, 30 minutes on the treadmill, and some gym work. But what I found was I was not able to do the type of gym work that would make any real meaningful difference while still running. And so doing a heavy set of squats, your legs are going to be a lot more sore than if you're just running for an hour extra easier every day. It's always tough filming on Tuesdays. You got the lawnmowers and the trash guy. All right, those were the friendly neighbors, and we got the trash guy coming. Shout out to those guys putting in work. I love to see everybody putting in work on a beautiful Tuesday. But what I found is that more running is more beneficial for me. Also, earlier in my running journey, I need to pull forward. All right, we're gonna take a pause for a sec. All right, guys, I just pulled the camera down. Hey, shout out to Waste Pro, putting in work. Let's go. I just pulled down the mailbox because we were taking a little break, and it looks like we got some shoes. What do you think? Bang. Now, I don't know who this is from, but we got a Supwell running. Let's go, baby. Looks like shoes. It feels like shoes. This is heavy. I wonder if Tim's sent me something after I weighed their shoes in the Skyward X video. Man, this feels like a pair of Tim's. I might have to throw it on the scale before we open it. Let's go. Okay, so as I was saying, being sore, the trade-off of time, the extra stress on my body wasn't worth it for me, and getting an extra hour to 3 hours per week of running was more beneficial last year for me than going into the gym and doing whatever type of workout. And for me, I don't do a lot of flexibility work. Maybe that can give me some sort of gains. I don't do a lot of stretching, and I don't do the gym work. And it's possible that at some point that will be what gives me a 2 to 3 minute PR advantage, but I'm still taking 10-minute chunks off my marathon time every, I don't know, 6 months. So for me, what I've found is that running more is the most beneficial. And shout out Waste Pro, still putting in work, man. They're just killing it today. And doing what I've found to prevent injury is also what works for me. And so for me, doing gym, doing stretching, that's not really part of the injury prevention equation for me. Also because I had 10 plus years before I even started running of going to the gym probably on average once to twice a week on average. I had periods of going every day. I had some periods where I was the first year out of college where I probably went once every 2 weeks, but on average a few times a week for 10 years. So I have decent musculature. I mean, look at that, bang. I'm just kidding, I don't know, I'm not jacked or anything, but I do have decent musculature. I'm in decently good shape and have enough of that base strength built up. And so one of the dudes who commented on my sub 3 video is saying it's like building the pyramid, and he coaches athletes and he tells them to do some strength and conditioning work. And I agree with that, but the base of my pyramid was that 10 years of history I had playing lacrosse, playing basketball, lifting. And then last year, that was just like the aliens dropping the top blocks on the pyramid. Shout out to Stove God Cooks. I love that conspiracy theory. But the sharpening point, the tip of the pyramid for me last year was just layering on the running. And so it's going to depend a lot on your running history. If you have someone who's coming straight off the couch into running and they've never lifted a weight before, they didn't play basketball or baseball or any sport growing up, then it's going to be a little bit tougher just saying, yeah, go out there and run 100 miles a week. That is not what I advocate. And again, this is not advice, but that wouldn't be what I advocated if I were coaching an athlete who were just getting off the couch or getting out of that desk chair, who had no previous experience with athletics. So all of this is to say, and I always like to leave with something that can be actionable if you want to do something to improve your training. You got to understand where you are, where you've been, and where you're going. Let me say that one more time. Again, this is take workshop, baby. We let the mistakes flow and fly, and we're trying to massage it. But you got to understand where you are now, where you've been in the past, and where you want to go. And for me, where I am right now, I'm in the peak of my athletic prime due to my demographics. Where I've been is I have 10 plus years of playing sports, strengthening my body. I don't have a big injury history. I've only been injured once, and that was when I was going to the gym hard and running at the same time when I trained for my first marathon. And then where I want to be is running fast marathons and running a lot of miles injury-free for the next 70 years of my life. And so knowing that, what I want to do right now is build a really strong foundation of running, building on where I've been. In the gym, again, because of where I am now as a young dad with not a lot of time to do extra stuff, the gym doesn't fit into that equation. And for me, the risk-reward analysis tells me that focusing on running, building up the aerobic base is the best thing I can do at the moment. And then maybe when I cross 35, 40, I know building up your muscles, and again, where I said where I want to be is running strong for the next 60, 70 years, it's going to be important to maintain good musculature, but I haven't crossed the point yet where I'm not able to retain as much muscle, and I haven't crossed the point yet where each decade my musculature is deteriorating, because that does happen for men after 40 years old. So that being said, right now we are slamming some mileage, baby. That's what this channel is about. This is not a hybrid athlete channel. Maybe it'll become a hybrid athlete channel at some point, but I don't think so. So that was episode 1 of Take Workshop. We're just letting it fly. Let's get these Hoka Skyward X off, and I also want to see what's on this box. If it's something super cool, though, I might have to wait to the first run video to show you guys, but let's do it. Thanks for coming to Take Workshop. Yo, I'm telling you guys, this thing is like between 5 and 10 pounds. And so if it's shoes, I don't know. There was one brand that said they were gonna send me some shoes that I hadn't heard from yet, but man, this feels heavy. I'm just not sure. Heavy box, what could it be in the heavy box? Huh, that was fun. First episode of Take Workshop. It's always nice trying some new things out, but Skyward X here, man, I have not had a bad run in this shoe yet, and it reminds me of 2 different shoes smashed together. And I'll give you a hint right now because we'll pull them out in a second, but it has the bouncy, soft cushion properties of one of my favorite lightweight rocker shoes from last year, also from Hoka. That should give you a good sense of what it is. And then it has the structured, built-up cushioned feel and the stable feel of one of my favorite rockered max cushion daily trainers from last year that's on the firmer side. And those 2 shoes together, I have 660 miles on those 2. And those 2 shoes, when they're in my rotation, I just could not stop pulling for them. And so this thing is like I'm telling you, it's like a combination of those 2 shoes. With all the shoes that I have, I'm predicting right now, this is probably going to end up being my highest mileage shoe of 2024. And I have plenty of other things to test and get up to 100. I have the Cloud Monster Hyper. I have the Mach 6, the Invincible 3. I also want to get the Endorphin Pro 4 up to 100 and some of the racing shoes. But man, I'm pulling for this every day. I like, you guys have heard me say, I vote with my miles, and I'm consistently voting for the Skyward X. And I don't feel the heavier weight at all. It's not even something that crosses my mind. If I didn't throw this on the scale the first day when we had it, and if I didn't know that it were a few ounces heavier than the other daily trainers I have, I don't think I would even be thinking about it, because again, thinking about the trade-offs and thinking about how different properties in a shoe will give you something good and will give you something bad. So the extra weight is coming from the additional cushion you get on here, and I think the benefits of it for a runner like me far outweigh any downside. I've never really been one to complain about a heavier shoe, and being 6'2", again, I'm not a super built up, stocky, muscular guy, but decently strong, and I do a lot of hill running, so my legs are decently strong, and I don't have any issue with weight on shoes. And this one in particular for me, I think if you're a bigger runner, man, this has got to be one of the best options to hit the market recently, similar to that other structured, firm max cushion shoe. So I'm going to shower, and then we can pull out those other 2 shoes, maybe before lunch, maybe after lunch. We'll see when Charlie gets home. But let's open this box real quick. I'm going to go grab my knife, and if I can show you, I'll show you. I'm going to open it on camera. And if I can't show you, then we'll just censor it. Pull up with the James knife. Let's go. I have no idea what this is going to be. Brown box. Nondescript brown box. 2 shoe boxes. Okay. One for me, one for Charles. Man, there's something that I've really been wanting recently that I saw pop up on another review Instagram today. And if that's this, I'm going to be hyped, but I don't think that's this. Let's check it out. Ah, okay. Yeah, this is what I thought. This is from a new brand based in a different country. And you guys have probably never heard of this shoe. So I'm not sure when I'll get some miles in it, but it looks like it will be cool. All right, there it is. We'll get into this at some point soon. Shower time. Hey, shout out to Waist Pro, man. Putting in work on a Tuesday. Let's go. Drop that beat, man. All right, guys, 10:45. Let's get in this last little bit of analysis pre-lunch. Charlie's not here, so we got some time to just yell about shoes with no one in the house. But all right, let me show you those 2 shoes I've been yapping about, singing the praises about. And look at this. Did I do that? Did I put my Pro 3s in the random shoe closet. All right, we got to liquidate some of these on the Supwell Marketplace coming soon. But all right, first one, and Charlie hates this closet, by the way. She says it's a, what'd she call it? Let me brighten it up for you. She called it organized chaos. But first one down here, Hoka Mach 5. Hoka Mach 5. You guys probably knew that one was coming. All right, bada boom, bada bang. New Balance 880. Get back in there. You deserve to be on the bottom of the closet. Next one, all the way over here, buried under the Velocity Nitro 3. This is the firm side. We got the Cloud Stratus 2, the Hyperion Max, the Velocity Nitro 3, the Audi Zero SL, and the Saucony Endorphin Shift 3. This is the number that I was talking about. All right, bada boom, bada bang. We got to put these somewhere nice. But let's go. Let's get it in. All right, guys, so Charlie just pulled into the driveway, actually, so this might need to be a little bit on the quicker side so we can hang with the squad. But Skyward X is like the perfect combination of the best qualities of the Saucony Endorphin Shift 3 and the Hoka Mach 5. So this was a shoe that I put a lot of miles on last year. It has this tall stack of traditional EVA foam, so 39 millimeters in the heel, 34 millimeters in the forefoot, so a lower drop, and very firm. And so it's not a shoe that gives you a lot of bounce, but look at this rolling platform and look how aggressively it tapers up here to give you this nice rockered feel. And that's the same thing you get in the Mach 5. These are two very rockered shoes, but this one's a little bit lighter, lower profile. It did some of my fastest runs in this shoe this year, but it's not a shoe that I really want to take up for a lot of mileage. And so, or at least in one run, I did not love this for longer runs. So this was very supportive, very stable, but on the firmer side. And a lot of runners didn't love that, but some bigger runners who I recommended this shoe to absolutely loved it because it's supportive, it's wide. It's one of the first shoes to use this wider base to offer some more inherent stability. And that's now a trend we're seeing across the market. And so Skyward X takes the best part of both of these shoes in that you get that taller stack of foam from the Shift 3. You get that aggressive forefoot rocker. You get a lot of foam up in the forefoot and a bit of a lower to moderate drop feel, but you get some of that pop and bounce from the Mach 5. In this guy, you get the supercritical EVA on the top with the standard EVA on the bottom. And this one, the best foam in here is the worst foam in here. So the supercritical EVA is just the everyday foam that they put in the Skyward X. And then the top layer is the PIBA. So you still get that rock and roll, you get the stability, and you get a ton of support, and there's going to be no bottoming out at all in the Skyward X. That's one of the downsides of the Mach 5 here. You could have a little bit of that bottoming out feel, which you would not get at all in the Saucony Endorphin Shift 3. So stable, fast, bouncy, feels good at a range of paces. And that was one of the things that I found about both the Mach 5 and the Shift 3. Because of these rolling rocker platforms, they feel really good at a range of paces. Neither of these shoes I felt like I had to run fast in or couldn't run fast. They were perfectly capable for any type of work I wanted to do. And that's my experience with the Skyward X so far. And so only real downside of the shoe is the weight, which I don't think is going to be an issue if you consider yourself a bigger runner. And people ask me all the time, what is your definition of bigger runner? You know what, guys? I'm not going to get canceled, so I'm not going to define it. I'm not going to put numbers to it. But I will say, you might be a bigger runner if the Nike Vaporfly felt too soft for you. You might be a bigger runner if you find that you can't go more than an hour in shoes like the Mach 5 or the Rebel V3 or the Rebel V4. So those are some of the criteria, but Skyward X is going to be one of the best shoes on the market for bigger runners this year. We got to put it through the double day test second run later today, and Charlie and Reevesy are home, so we're going to cut it here. But I will see you guys in a little bit. I'm going to hit some lunch, and then we're going to get this second run in a bit. All right, see ya. All right, guys, quick and easy lunch here today. We got the vegan buffalo chicken patty, some arugula from the farmer's market for the greens. We got the Sara Lee Artisano buns for some carbs here, and then some nice pickles. We do 2 of these numbers. Again, I like to balance the processed food with the whole foods for lunch. I keep it simple, easy, focus on getting the calories in, and then dinner is where we get the I don't even want to use the H word, but the healthier stuff. This is all about calories, keeping it simple and easily digestible stuff for that second run. So lunchtime, let's get it. See you guys in a bit. All right, guys, 1:30 p.m., almost school pickup time. And for these double run day tests, I'll usually do some sort of on foot, how does it feel for walking and for running errands. And I would throw it on to pick up the kids or pick up Mason from school and take him to the park. But I'm not going to do that with the Skyward X. It is comfortable to walk around, but this is not a shoe that I'm going to wear casually for many reasons. But 50 millimeters of stack in the heel and a carbon fiber plate, I don't think I could justify wearing this casually. So probably throw on the Ghost Max for that, and then we'll be back in a little bit for second run of the day. All right, see you guys in a bit. By the way, a little snack action. We got the cereal, mixed the last little bit of the Life cereal with the cashew, some oat milk in there, and then boom, we got the cold brew. Bang! I usually do a second cup of hot coffee, but we ran out of beans. I'm really hoping my black and white coffee gets here today. Shout out to Black and White Coffee Roasters. All right, guys, eating my snack. I need to do one more thing to the strength training take workshop we did, because I did want to mention. So with the Skyward X in the first run, or not the first run, but the first run we did today in that run, I probably got 600 feet of elevation gain. So even though I'm not running or hitting the gym a ton, I'm still getting a lot of resistance on the legs with hill running. I probably average 3,000 to 4,000 feet of elevation gain per week. And that's why I love this shoe for this run, is because it's so bouncy on the uphills despite the heavier weight, or maybe because of the heavier weight, because you're getting more foam, it's really bouncy. And the other thing is, second run today, we're probably going to do it with the stroller. And last block, I did 3 to 4 stroller runs each week. So that's 8 miles times 3, 24. If we did that for 10 weeks, that's 240 stroller miles. Definitely above 100 stroller miles. Again, with probably 400 to 500 feet of elevation gain each week. And so hitting these hills out here, getting some good resistance. There are other ways to strengthen the legs. So I'm not hitting crazy bench press sets, but for the marathon, the phase of training I'm in right now, this period of life, I'm not going to be doing this forever, but this is what's feeling good to me right now. Maybe we'll get back in the gym this summer, but that's the one more thing. That's the addendum to the take workshop. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit. Snack 2. Acai bowl with the kids. All right, guys, 3:50 p.m., 1 lunch and 2 snacks later. Time to hit this double in the Skyward X. Before we do this, I did want to do the durometer test super quickly so we can see whether or not this supercritical EVA is the same foam in the Mach 6 and the Skyward X. So let's take a look. Where's our trusty durometer? Oh man, durometer got upgraded to the primary desk. Okay, I see you, durometer. The way this tool works is a 0 means it's super soft, 100 is super firm. I like to get 3 readings on each shoe. So forefoot of the Skyward X is clocking in at a 40. The rear here is clocking in at a 37, and then I like to take one on the bottom if we can, where the exposed foam is. This is clocking in at a 42. Okay, Mach 6 now, heel 42, forefoot 40, 41, 42, and bottom coming in at 46. That might just be a little bit of a variation there, but it looks like these two foams are probably the same compound. Maybe slightly different, but really similar readings on the durometer. So that's good to know. All right, let's go outside and lace these things up. Stroller, ooh. Stroller, ooh. Third time's the charm. Stroller miles. Here we go. Many have tried. What is it? Many have tried. Few have succeeded. The gauntlet of the double run day stroller test. That was horrible. Let's just go outside and cut our losses. What's up, dude? Man, I know it was a little cold earlier, but it turned into another beautiful afternoon. About 70 degrees. Nice little breeze here. You can see the leaves here are swaying gently. We got the ivy getting rustled by the wind. It's a perfect day, perfect afternoon for slamming some pace with the stroller. No, I'm just kidding. This morning we came up, we were a little hot this morning. I know I said it was all about relaxed aerobic, and then I was ripping at 6:40, but 6:40 did feel not that fast today. And it almost, honestly, I looked down on my watch at one point and I thought I was going a 7:30 pace, and I was going a 6:50 something. So I don't know if that's the shoes here or my fitness is hitting a different level, or probably a little bit of combination of both. But plan for this run is we're not going to be ripping. We're going to be cruising. It's hard to go sub 7:30 with that stroller. So plan is just nice time on feet. Build a little strength in the legs. This is my gym, bro. This is my gym. What do you know about that stroller running, bro? All right, I'm going to lace these up. Enough with the nonsense. Enough with the This is not why I watch this channel. Hey, look at that beautiful wife. Beautiful wife, beautiful life, baby. Let's go. Bang. I can't say bang anymore. It's overused. Bang. Pull up with the onomatopoeia. Bang. Alright, Charlie moved the car because apparently this is the newest BMX park. If you want to teach your kids how to bike, bring them here. $5 admission fee. No, your black up skills are fine. Typical mom. No, just kidding. I might have to cut that. Man, these stroller doubles are tough no matter how you want to slice it. But today, let's see, we got 8.2 miles, average 8:13 pace, hour and 7 minutes. And yesterday, or not yesterday, but last week, last time we did this in the Invincible 3, I stopped at exactly 8 miles. I said, we got our mileage and we're done. Today, we got the extra 0.18 because this is our second stroller double back after the marathon, and legs are rebuilding a little bit of strength. But regardless, man, these are tough runs to do. Doesn't matter what shoes I'm in. And it's also, I'm realizing it's a little bit tricky dialing in the nutrition again for these doubles, because I have to eat a little bit of a lighter lunch, and I try to have a little bit less fluids than I normally would, so that I don't have to run to the bathroom immediately after finishing or during finishing during the run. But we're tweaking. That's the thing about doing a goal race and then coming back for another round of training, another training cycle. You gotta keep what's working, throw out what's not, but you also just gotta reformulate the whole system every time. There's no two training blocks that are gonna be exactly the same. And so we're still figuring out how everything is gonna work. But that was a solid run. And Charlie's wearing my shirt. She's wearing my tie-dye shirt. Can you see that? That is my shirt. Come on, Charles. Yeah, that was a mental toughness kind of run. All right, let's pop these things off. All right, guys. 8 stroller miles in the books, but more importantly, we got 20 miles on the day in the Skyward X. And like I said, these stroller doubles, they always expose whatever the weakness of the shoe is. And man, this shoe, it doesn't have a ton of weaknesses, and I don't even think at this point I would say there's a huge glaring downside, but it reminded me of some of the downsides of this shoe. And so no shoe is perfect. Every shoe comes with trade-offs. And with this guy here, the trade-offs come from the weight and then a little bit of the firmness of the foam. So because you have so much stack, you get the carbon fiber plate in here, and it's not going to be as firm as the Saucony Endorphin Shift 3, but it is a little bit on the firmer side. And so those are the qualities that made it a really nice shoe, a fun shoe to run in earlier this morning for those steadier miles. The same qualities that are going to make it a little bit of a firmer, heavier ride for slower miles. And so as I was running faster, I was able to compress this midsole foam a little bit more, get more of that benefit and pop. But on the second run, running a lot slower, I had 1 mile that was an 8:45 up that gigantic hill, which slowed us down a ton in the stroller here. But it felt a little bit firmer as I was dragging my legs, and boy, was I dragging by the end of this run here. So we're rebuilding. This is a great shoe for rebuilding. Not a perfect shoe, but an awesome shoe for high mileage. It passed, and I don't do a pass or fail grade, but this definitely passed the double day test. I'm just feeling a little bit like I need some food right now. So it's going to be dinner, and then we can close it out. Shoes? What do you think about them? Yeah. Just not beyond, yes. Little post-run recovery, athletic, light copper, fire. Hey, look at that. I told you guys dinner is healthy. We got the white bean dip, homemade. Oh, is that couscous? A little quinoa with the arugula from the farmer's market. And I think we got the falafel in there. Thank you. It's not homemade pita. Alright, is it dinner time? Alright, full spread pita, roasted eggplant, roasted cauliflower, homemade bean dip with the paprika and the honey, falafel from Trader Joe's, not homemade but still fire, and then the grain mix with it, which is, what is it? Quinoa with arugula. I gotta say that again. Quinoa with arugula. Bam. Alright, I gotta make my plate and then we can do the full bang. Alright guys, look at that beautiful plate. I told you we were going full whole foods healthy for dinner. Only thing that's not whole food is the pita. But we got the good grains, good carbs, nice mix of vegetables and protein. Thank you, Charles. Anything to say, people? Just listening? She's making fun of me. I'm not a nutritionist. Bang! I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, one more thing, guys. We just hit 10K. I do not like to focus on the numbers, but it is pretty cool that we've been able to do this within a year of just consistently grinding and trying to serve more runners. So nothing's going to change. Well, you know, it might change a little bit because now I feel like I have a responsibility to go even harder to serve more people. So just want to say thank you to everybody out there. Let's go, baby. Up your best. We're going to continue putting in the work, more double days, more long runs, more first runs. This just got me fired up to do more and do better. So let's go. Let's get it. All right. I love you guys.